Hi crochet friends. I try my best to make all of my plushies as low sew as possible, but sometimes it's just easier to crochet the head separately and then sew it on afterwards. That's the case for this big moosey deer guy. His head and his body are both no sew, but then you gotta sew his body onto his head. And kind of my favorite guy ever, Mr. Raccoon. If you look at his face pattern, it was way easier to create it by starting here and working back and ending back here. So these are kind of like vertical rows, and for the body it was more horizontal. So instead of fighting against stuff, it's just easier to do the two things separate and sew them on later. That being said, it can be a little annoying and tricky sometimes to get it on there straight and like really secure. So I wanted to make a little video just to show you how I sew heads on. I have another one of these guys I have to finish, so let's head over to my desk and I'll show you how I do it. So here I have my sitting down moose body and his little head. I'm still not sure about the sew on face details. I might change it again. I wanted to do something for his face though, because I added a nose and a mouth for the deer. I just wanted it to be a little different, but I'm not sure. He still looks a little funny. It might be the mouth. Maybe I'll just take off the mouth. So when you're going to sew a plushie's head onto the body, you want it to be secure. If you're using a softer, thinner chenille type of yarn, you might really want to consider using a different, stronger type of yarn to sew it on. This yarn that I used to crochet the moose is pretty strong. I could use this if I wanted to. A lot of the time, so I do just prefer using a cotton worsted weight yarn in a similar color to put the head on really tight and securely. So let's just get a really long piece, probably longer than what you need just to be safe. I have been meaning to order those Amigurumi sticks forever. I just still haven't gotten around to it. But if you have those, it can be really helpful to use them to hold the head exactly where you want it. I can't take it anymore, he's bothering me. I think that just looks so much better. Okay, I'm excited to see what you guys will do because you guys always are so creative and do things a lot different than I do. So I think I'm just gonna do him normal looking forward. It's always cute sometimes if you give him a little head tilt, like he's a curious little guy, or you could have him kind of be a little angled looking to the side. If you wanted to make him more of a pouncing blushie, keep that in mind too. You could make his head more like that. I'm just gonna do the normal sitting version because that's what I like. Something I learned the hard way over sewing on tons of plushie heads is that it's a good idea to secure the front and the back first, because if you start working just in the round to sew it on, you might get to the end and notice it's like this when you didn't want it to be. So if you secure the front and the back before you really start to get it on there, you won't have to worry because it won't be moving. This is the first plushie I made that has like a base like this to the neck. Usually I'll start at the bottom and work up and just stop here and have a circle, but for this one I started at the top and I worked down. So I gave it a little base for the head to be sewn onto. And I'm just going to loop around the top 2 stitches of one of these single crochets and tie this on 3 times. Now I want to place them exactly how I want them to be and loop around the post of one of the stitches right in the middle of his chin. Pull that tight. I'm going to secure it down to the same stitch, and then I'm going to head to the back. Oops. So now do the same thing. Loop around one of the stitches right in the back, pull it tight. It should bring his head up. And now loop around one of the posts of the stitches on the back. Secure it down to the back. Now that we have the front and the back the way we want it, he's really not going to move too much and we can work our way around. I like to do kind of a version of the mattress stitch. Instead of going around like this, kind of like you would intuitively sew something on, we're going to be almost zigzagging up around the post of a stitch, down around the post of a stitch, up and down, up and down. This way it'll kind of pull it together and make it look like it's not even sewn. Let's go ahead and go around the post of the stitch. Pull it tight, go around the post of a stitch. And you see how it pulls the post up and down and joins them? It'll make it look like it's crocheted together and you won't even be able to tell that it's sewn. If you were to just like loop, 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 you might see little bits of the thread here and there that you use to sew it on. But by looping around the post of the stitch on the plushie, you're actually pulling both sides of the plushie down to meet together, and it should almost be zigzagged. If you can see kind of there, it'll just look like it's crocheted together. You won't even be able to tell. Around the post, around the post. Oops. I think you could get away with going around 2 stitches I wouldn't really go around more than 3 because then it would turn out kind of blocky. We want it to look organic and round. And if you can see, I'm not sewing it down here as close as I can get. I kind of want to go up a little bit so that it does get pulled down and it overlaps. Around another post. We should be able to pull it tight now. That just looks crocheted. You can't even tell it's sewn together. And it's not too hard to do either. It's not stressful or anything. And usually when I have stuff sewn together like this, I add like a type of necklace thing just to give you some wiggle room where if it isn't exact, you don't necessarily have to worry about someone seeing all your stitches because there's something there to cover it a little. This method though is really clean. If you didn't want to have a necklace or something to hide your stitches, I don't think you'd have to, especially if you're using a stronger plushie yarn like this and you were using the exact same thing. I first learned how to do this mattress stitch type of thing when I was really into making like granny square type of things where you make a bunch of the granny squares and then you sew them together. I tried a million different ways to connect them and I was never happy with it because it would always be bulky if you single crocheted them together on the back, or if you just looped around like that to connect them, you'd see the thread that you were looping with. Like that would be fine if it were all one color, but when it was 2 separate colors, you could tell. I ended up trying to mattress stitch one day and it works amazingly well to pull the 2 sides together. And then once I started to get more serious about making plushies, I realized I could apply that stitch to plushies and it would really help with joining on heads. We've made it back to the front and it just looks a little crooked now because he's nearly headless Nick right now. But let's kind of pull it apart, and if you can see, it looks really great. You can't see that cotton yarn at all. So let's continue around to meet up in the back. I made it all the way back around and his head is on there good. So all I'm gonna do, if you wanted to, you could keep going around as many times as you like just to make sure that it's super secure on there. What I'm going to do is thread through to right back where I started in the front, and I can tie these ends together 3 times and hide it inside of the plushie. There's our little moose guy all finished up. I hope you liked the video and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.